for joining us for Featured. I'm Sedona Meadows. For the next half hour, we'll be bringing you some of the stories trending around the country, or ones that will just brighten your day. Now, it's no secret that pickleball is exploding in popularity, but not everyone wants it in their backyard. Caitlin Ross takes us to a few spots in Georgia where complaints are adding up over the sound, the space, and the stress.
Sitting on the sidelines isn't John Riley's speed.
It's interesting to see how the dance goes. Oh, day one. What is that?
The sound of pickleball in Peachtree City
6 courts, all full.
quickly pushing him off the bench.
We're now entering our 4th year of dealing with the noise.
So he got in the game, going to city council to try and cancel the noise.
It's the sound of 2 of your neighbors re-roofing their house from sun up to sundown. Pock, pock, pockety pock.
The sport is surging in the U.S., with 13.6 million people picking up a paddle. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the country. Oh! But it's quickly annoying neighbors.
And then when I heard the noise, I felt bad for me.
Okay.
Like John, who lives just 240 feet from the courts.
When I first walk on the court, it might be, hey, Riley, did we wake you up?
He plays pickleball
Time for the unreturnable.
on those same courts, even while going on the offense against it.
I use a quiet paddle, and I refuse to play before 10 o'clock in the morning. And I don't play after 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
The people fighting against the courts, they're not anti-pickleball.
The irony of this is that a couple of us play pickleball.
It's quiet in Tucker now, and Rebecca Goss is fighting to preserve that peace,
There'll be 3 courts on this side.
where 12 proposed courts would be just hundreds of feet from her home.
It's that constant popping. It would mean very, very negative consequences on the quality of my life as well as my property values.
They're so frustrated in Tucker, they're considering filing a lawsuit. So are neighbors in Summer Grove, an HOA community in Noonan, where the courts are just 80 feet away from homes. Avondale Estates requires people play pickleball with noise-reducing paddles and soft balls to try and dim the noise. Some communities have tried erecting noise-canceling fences, but they have to be about 12 feet high to be effective. And in Peachtree City, they're just going to move the courts, looking for a new spot more than 1,000 feet away from homes so people can still enjoy the game without all this noise.
Well, do you want to buy my house? The pock sound, the screaming, the yelling makes it impossible to just enjoy what was previously some quiet.
Riley says cities need to listen before the tension grows louder.
We want everybody to be able to play and have a good time. It just doesn't need to be in somebody's backyard.
Now, you might be asking yourself, why isn't there similar uproar for tennis? Well, pickleball uses hard paddles and plastic balls, which create a higher pitched sound and makes it harder for us to tune it out. A new scam is circulating on social media advertising forever stamps at a deep discount. However, is it too good to be true? Stephanie Haney verifies what sites are legitimate.
The price of U.S. forever stamps is expected to go up in July by 5 cents. From 73 cents to 78 cents to be exact. And with that, you might have seen more posts like these on social media advertising discounts on bulk stamp orders. So let's verify. Can you buy U.S. forever stamps at a deep discount online? Our sources are the United States Postal Service and Stamps.com. U.S. Postal Inspector Ian Ortega told me USPS does not sell stamps below face value. If stamps are offered at a significant discount, like 20 to 60% off, then it is a scam. Sounds simple enough, right? Here's where it gets a little tricky. You can buy forever stamps directly from the U.S. Postal Service, and you can also buy them from approved postal providers. Ortega also told me approved vendors can include legitimate warehouse retailers who do provide very small discounts on postage stamps, but through resale agreements with the Postal Service. One of those approved vendors is Stamps.com, and they advertise right on their site that you can get postage discounts you can't even get at the post office. So we can verify, no, you can't buy U.S. forever stamps at a deep discount online, but you can buy them at a slight discount from USPS partners like Stamps.com. If you have any doubt about whether the site you're thinking of using is legitimate, you can check the approved vendors list at tools.usps.com/locations. With your Verify, I'm Stephanie Haney.
Well, Airbnb has released some of the hottest vacation searches this year. The company says a lot of people are searching for trips within 300 miles of their homes. One survey shows 43% of Americans plan to drive instead of fly for their upcoming vacations. There are still people that want to travel internationally, with destinations like Italy, India, and the Netherlands topping the list. As the end of the school year approaches, a southern Minnesota bus driver is reaching a milestone. Boyd Hooper went along for a ride, got a story with a surprise ending even he didn't expect.
Never a doubt who'll be first each day on bus number 5.
Good morning, good morning.
This isn't just morning in Truman for Cheryl Berrickman.
This is it.
This is life.
Sometimes the kids are a little sleepy on Monday mornings.
And the driver?
That too, maybe.
Life on Cheryl's bus comes with a smile.
Morning.
She believes the first person her kids see
Morning.
after leaving home should flash sunshine.
Good morning. The Broodley girls. Good morning.
My name's Sydney and her name's
Sydney
Peyton.
and Peyton aren't aware that Cheryl was alone among men when she started driving bus at 23. They're also unaware how long she stayed.
I am 80.
Wow.
So they've yet to do the math to know how long bus number 5 has had the same driver.
I've been driving, this is my 57th year. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Kinda like having a grandma on board.
That's true, yeah.
Except, says Elena Clausen,
My grandma's younger.
still, the 80-year-old driver of a big bus on the prairie knows wind and snowstorms
The road was covered.
and stories.
Little kindergartner was sitting in the front seat. I'll roll down the window and look out the side, he said for you, and if I see the edge, I'll tell you that you're too close to the edge.
That is the laugh of a woman whose life
Okay, Brian.
is kids.
That'll work.
Just ask Heidi Boyles,
She loves kids.
a kid.
Yeah, yep,
Cheryl,
yep.
4.
She was a 4-H leader, Sunday school teacher. Everything she does is for the kids.
Including
Every day.
this.
I pray before I get on the bus that I have a safe journey with the bus and that in some way I bless these children's lives.
But if kids are Cheryl's fuel,
Hey,
her heart belonged
you go.
to Keith.
He died on January 1st of 22, so yeah, I do miss him, yes.
For his gravestone, the farmer picked a tractor. So what do you suppose Cheryl chose to represent her life?
Even in death. Yes, yes.
Which is where we had planned to end this story.
Usually this lot's empty.
Until Cheryl returned to the bus garage.
I don't know what's going on.
I pretty much just sent out a text.
See what all these cars are about out here.
When word got out a television station would be following Cheryl,
Everybody showed up.
Hey, what's happening in here?
home family
Hi, Alyssa. Hi.
arrived
She's very surprised.
Tiger!
with bus family.
Hey, this is an old bus kid.
Hiya, Ben.
All right.
She was at every sporting event.
Alex Boyle's grandmother
Oh my gosh, hi, Arlo.
drove him there.
She never saw the end of games because she had to get the bus warmed up.
Everyone has a story.
I was on the bus 54 years ago.
I was on the bus 2 years ago.
When Carter Gieske started school, his dad Peter thought,
Well, she's still driving.
Isn't that just cool?
the confection and affection left the bus driver
This is surprising. It's great.
in need of wipers. Even 80-year-olds haven't seen everything.
I guess I didn't think I was that special. Everybody wave!
Those in Truman who disagree would fill buses.
I love them all.
Congratulations, Grandma Cheryl.
Thank you, Anna.
80 and alive
Thank you.
on bus 5.
You bet. I love you so much.
Good. Boyd Hooper,
I have to be careful when I shut this door.
Truman.
Cheryl continues to pass her required annual physicals with flying colors and got a thumbs up from her eye doctor at her most recent appointment. She plans to be back behind the wheel of bus number 5 next fall. This demonstration looks like it's from Mythbusters. Still ahead, why leaders on the West Coast are showing off how effective fire-resistant material can be at saving your house during a wildfire. The threat of wildfires continues to grow across the country, from Pennsylvania to one of the biggest wildfire hotspots, California. And as they become more common, some are shifting towards using fire-resistant materials to build their homes. Brian White shows us how much of a difference it can really make.
In wildfire country, preparation can mean the difference between devastation and survival. Cal Fire lit two nearly identical structures on fire, one built with fire-safe construction, the other left vulnerable. Fire crews simulated embers landing in the mulch bed, turned on fans to mimic 8 to 10 mile per hour winds. It didn't take long for the fire to find a path.
When fire comes and invades the community, what can you do? And what you see behind me is exactly that. One of these structures fully engulfed, and the other side that had just as much fire surrounding it is still standing.
The unmitigated structure had wood siding, vinyl gutters, and flammable mulch right up to the wall, a recipe for disaster.
On the vulnerable structure, we had a vinyl gutter, and you saw it melt off and drop to the ground. And sometimes those gutters have materials in them, vegetative debris, that can ignite debris in it. And there we go with the structure collapsing.
Within 30 minutes, it was completely destroyed. But just feet away, the wildfire resilient home remained intact, thanks to 5 feet of defensible space and fire-resistant materials, like the siding built with fiber cement board.
The other one still had plants, still looks beautiful, but it has nothing combustible in that first 5 feet. It was hardscaped right around it, had metal furniture.
A dramatic lesson in fire science and a powerful reminder that defensible space and home hardening can save property and lives.
And this, we really hope, is an eye-opener for San Diego County residents and all Californians of the steps they need to take to be ready for wildfire.
Fire leaders in California hope the demonstration will inspire homeowners, especially people living in older homes, to make some upgrades before wildfire season hits its peak. A group of California seniors are enjoying their second act by taking a bold leap onto the improv stage. After the break, why they say they're having the time of their lives. Plus, you know the old saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure? That's definitely the case for one Connecticut artist. We introduce you to the woman turning garbage into sculptures. There's an old saying that laughter is the best medicine, and if that's the case, a group of San Diego seniors will probably live forever. Jeff Sevely introduced us to an improv group who are thoroughly enjoying life's second act.
Thinking on their feet with quick wit. These seniors say when you're old as dirt, all you can do is laugh about it. The Free Spirits Senior Improv Company wants to make you laugh. These jokesters range in age from 60 to 90 years old.
You don't have to think about it. You just have to do it.
Give it your best shot. Oh, except the alley's that way.
Their 50-minute show encourages
just one word.
Jail.
High school.
Audience participation.
An elephant.
I noticed the audience kept wanting jokes about pooping and romance. Are those common themes?
Yes.
A warning to everyone. No one in the crowd is safe.
I can feel those vibes from you. Zevery will tell us what.
This program is part of the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at UC San Diego.
You make baloney stiff.
Where Ed Abeda believes laughter is the best medicine.
I think scientifically we can actually say that laughter is a very positive impact for our own day-to-day life.
Look at that one. It's spreading its wings all
Improv makes Eileen Hubbs feel like a kid again.
I am 62. Oh no, wait a minute. I'm 82. I keep forgetting that first number. Today you're going to see this in slow motion up on the screen.
One thing you won't forget is the first time you see this show.
I come here to laugh, and this show always makes me laugh.
You're baloney.
Never in 1,000 years did I think I would ever do improv. But we're part of the salad mix.
Beth Faber-Jacobs found her funny bone and a family.
One of the things that I think all of us love about this is we come to rehearse and we laugh throughout the entire rehearsal, and you always leave feeling better than when you came in.
Are you looking for new members?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you mean you're closing your window? I just got caught!
Just when they thought growing old was no laughing matter.
I love all these people. We have just formed such tight bonds.
These seniors found their happy place. I think we need a group hug. Yeah! In the Zevely zone and about. Jeff Zevely.
So fun. Well, sculptures can be made from a wide range of materials like clay, metal, or stone. But what about garbage? Jamel Johnson shows us how one artist turns trash into art.
This is where I sit when I am working.
Art.
Board here, my tools and stuff.
It's considered the ultimate form of creative expression
In every single piece that I make.
and has always been in Stephanie Daigle's DNA.
I cannot remember a time where I wasn't creating.
She became a sign artist at Trader Joe's, but she always wanted more from her art.
As you can see, there's a ton of copper piping.
That's when she noticed her creative outlet was in front of her all along.
The box of cords that you don't know what they go to, or like old purses that I hated and I was never going to use again, or like just chopping everything up and trying to, use it in some sort of way.
She used items that would have been thrown out
It would be insane to say no to it. But
to create her first sculpture,
my very first piece was this deer that I had named Yondu. I painted it blue.
based off a character from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was going to name him Louie initially, and then I was watching the movie and I was like, I really like the name Yondu.
299 pieces later,
Technically, that's probably a lot harder.
her hobby is now her full-time job.
That's Yondu, that's Tao, this is Prudence, that's Kobe, the dog over there is Charlie, and that octopus is Misha.
One person's trash is Daigle's treasure.
Oh, it's a bunch of junk.
Her eco-friendly passion
I think a lot of people assume that I dumpster dive. I have never done that.
has resonated with an entire community.
Initially, it was all my own junk, and then it became the junk of my friends and family, my neighbors, that like everyone that knew I was doing it was like, oh, I saved you all of these things, like here you go. But I am so proud to say that I have probably saved a ton of trash from being put in a landfill. Or
A trash train she doesn't see stopping
you're like this guy, that guy would go in there full.
anytime soon.
So I'm gonna do this forever. I fully intend to until my hands stop working because they're super arthritic.
And Yondu will always be on for the ride.
I don't feel overly precious about most things that I create. But like you said, Yondu, I feel differently about because that got this whole ball rolling, and I had no idea that it would be the thing that it is today.
Daigle says she does auctions for her work every month, however, currently has several pieces for sale online right now. While many focus on the Kentucky Derby horse races every year, an annual event in Texas focuses on hogs hauling across the finish line. Hear from the swine master about the pig races. While some people were watching the Kentucky Derby this weekend, others in Texas were enjoying a different type of race involving piglets. Lydia Herrera spoke to the swine master of the races at an annual event in Corpus Christi to learn more about the experience.
I didn't never see myself getting into this necessarily, and I wouldn't have thought of getting into this kind of business at all, but now that I'm in it, yeah, definitely can't see myself going anywhere else.
Raise your hand if you've never been to a pig race before.
7 years ago, Jared Hollenbach stepped into a new role, swine master. Now, he's the dedicated caretaker of pigs who race for the spotlight at fairs and rodeos, a crowd favorite wherever they go.
But every single time I watch the pigs run around, I get super excited, and I see it in those kids out there, and I love to entertain them.
For the Martinez family, catching the pig races at Buck Days isn't just fun. It's a yearly tradition they wouldn't miss. Stephanie says Jared is a big part of why they enjoy the races.
Better because of the way he announces and everything. It makes the crowd get even happier, you know what I mean, excited about it because he announces it really well. And he's really nice to the kids as well.
It's a first for Cassandra Medina and her family at the pig races, but she's already saying it won't be the last.
That was quite an experience. I did not expect 3 races of like tallest to shortest to like the smallest. It's pretty fun.
Jared may say the pigs are the stars of the show, but to him, they're more like family.
They're not our workhorses, they're the stars of the show, and so we treat them as such. I think they get better treatment than we do sometimes, but I'm okay with that.
The winner is rewarded at the end of every race with a cookie. The piglets can reach up to 15 miles per hour while running. Well, on the East Coast, more than 1,000 people headed to Northeast Pennsylvania for the 4th annual Office 5K, paying tribute to the show based out of Scranton. Organizers say this year they had people from 8 different countries in all 50 U.S. states there for the race. And of course, what's a race without dressing up like characters from the show?
So we are Kevin's turtle from season 9. He spends the summer taking care of a turtle that he ran over and trying to piece it back together. Although the turtle was dead all along, he's still very proud of how he helped the turtle.
All of the money raised at the event goes to an area nonprofit. Netflix recently announced that its homepage will be redesigned for the first time in more than a decade. Now, the main menu will be featured in the middle of the homepage instead of on the left side. Descriptions of the shows and movies are now more compact, and recommendations are more personalized in real time. Netflix also says it's testing an AI-boosted search feature, as well as a TikTok-like vertical video feed for the mobile app. Well, that's going to do it for this featured show. I'm Stonah Meadows. I hope you have a wonderful, safe, and great rest of your day.